je t'ai fait le premier.
Okay, so you all can sing behind me. You can unmute yourself. You have a power, but please don't unmute if there is a noise or voice behind you. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Thank you. So last week we did verse number 1 of Sikshamrita, Sikshashtakam. Sorry, Sikshashtakam. Anyone remembers the verse? You can raise your hand if you remember the verse. We are reading from Chaitanya Charitam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and we are on the section of, where are we? Lord Chaitanya's mission here. And these are the Sikshashtakam prayers that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind, the 8 prayers. And I said we're going to take our time before we actually dig into the book deeply to understand what these prayers mean. And last week we discussed Chaitanya Charitamrita, plus we have to do a time management course, right? If we can get done with this. Anyhow, I mean, I'm not worried about that. We'll eventually get to it. So who would like to recite the prayer? First one. Yes, Mataji. The first one that we did last time.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Shri Shrishtastakam. Cheto Darpanamarchanam Bhava Mahadhavagni Nirvapanam Shreyaha Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamruta Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
So nice.
Krishna.
Thank you. Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. चित्तोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्.
Thank you. CM Radha Mataji.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्वपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you. Subrata Burman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Krishna. So this was Krishna. One second. Cheto Darpana. So there were 7 benedictions in that verse. That and every benediction was ending it with the name Nam. Right, so that's what we discussed last week in detail, like Cheto Darpana Marjan Nam. So ending with the holy name. One benediction. Second, Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam. Second benediction. Shreya Karva Chandrika Vitarinam. Third one. Fourth, Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Fifth, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Sixth, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Then Sarvatma Snapanam. So these are the 7 benedictions given in this holy chanting. Whoever chants the holy name, whoever, doesn't matter who it is, whoever chants the holy name gets these 7 benedictions, provided they chant without offenses and attentively. And we discussed that these Sikshastakam prayers represent everything. Everything that is established in Krishna consciousness is there in Sikshastakam prayers. The 9 devotional, 9 processes of devotional service, 9 stages of bhakti, or the culmination of all the Vedic knowledge of Sambandha Gyan, Abhidhe Gyan, Prayojan Gyan, or the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So there are 8 prayers, and each prayer represents a couplet. So first prayer represents Hare Krishna, then second one is Hare Krishna, the third one is Krishna Krishna, fourth one is Hare Hare, like that. Okay, so I think, did we discuss all the benedictions? Cheto Darpana Marjanam means cleansing the mirror of the heart. When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then our heart starts to clean up. We can actually see, because right now it's so dusty with so many identifications and so many designations. But when we start chanting Hare Krishna, I can really understand that I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Then Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So Mahadavagni, forest fire. This place is like a calamitous place. Like all the perplexities are always happening. But one who chants Hare Krishna, the second benediction they get is that this fire of material existence get extinguished. Shreya Karava Chandrika Vitarinam. So I remember that Karava is a kind of a lotus flower which blooms under the moonshine. Generally, the lotus blooms under the sunshine, but this Karava is a kind of a lotus flower which blooms under the moonshine. Shreya means auspicious. Chandrika means sun. So Vitarana means it blooms. So the holy name, which is compared to the lotus, we are compared to the lotus, closed lotus here. This is the simile. And Chandrika, or moon, is compared to the holy name. So when the shining light of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra shines on the closed lotus of the heart, it blooms up and it becomes all auspiciousness. It brings about all auspiciousness. If you want to make your life auspicious, chant Hare Krishna. Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. So Vadhu is a newly wedded lady, bride. So her life is her husband, right? She looks at her husband, she gets energy. So like that, Vidya is compared to holy name, and Vadhu is compared to the person who's chanting the holy name. So person who's chanting the holy name is like a bride, but the husband of the bride is the holy name. And when a person chants holy name, it blooms, it gives them more life. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam means it keeps on increasing. The ocean of happiness keeps on increasing. It's not that, okay, now I'm happy. I was yearning for some happiness by getting this Mercedes. Okay, I got it. Now my happiness is finished. Not like that. It keeps increasing. Not that it only brings life to us, but it keeps increasing that life. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Swadanam means taste. So as we go on chanting the holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our taste, our attachment to the holy name goes on becoming stronger and stronger. We can't give up. A stage comes, provided we are following the rules and regulations. We're not being fanatic. Sarvatma Snapanam. So one can give up everything. And it is the best thing that one can do for oneself. Sarva Atma. Atma is the self. So one can do something for Atma, or here Atma refers to self, is that give that Atma the name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So these were the 7 benedictions in short. Atma Snapanam, give everything to Krishna. So we'll read the translation once. Let there be, and I was emphasizing on the point that this translation is upside down because the last thing is written first. So Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Prabhupada is translating it first. Let there be all victory for chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, even though it's written in the last present tense, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of blazing fire of material existence. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleanse the mirror of the heart, stop the miseries of blazing fire of material existence, is Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. That chanting is the waxing moon which spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. It is the life of the soul of all education. So Vidya Vadu Jivanam. The chanting of holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. This is with Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste the nectar at every step. This Sarvatma Snapanam. It gives that the Atma gets fully satisfied. I think I was laughing a lot. We were having good time last time when we discussed this. This is the second verse. You can raise your hand if you would like to read, and I'll read once, and then whoever wants to read can raise their hands. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etardhishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdeva Midrishamiha Janina Anuraga. Okay, very quickly, Mataji. Is Vasudevan Prabhu here? 1 second, Mataji. Is Vasudevan Prabhu here today? Does anyone know? Where is he? Rekha Mataji, do you know? Okay, go ahead, Jaya Mataji. I don't think he's here.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Namnanakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Namapi Durdeva Midrishamiha Janina Anuragaha. Hare
Very nice.
Krishna.
Thank you. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisham Iha Janina Anuraga.
Thank you. So nice. Deeparani Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिश तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह जानिनानुरागः.
Thank you, Mataji. Subrata Prabhu. Very nice.
नाम नाम आकारी बहुधा निज सर्व शक्तिस तत्रार्पिता नियमित शरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् यः जनिनानुरागः.
Thank you. Vijaya Kannan Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktihi Tatra Pida Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdvaiva Midrusham Ihajani Nanuragaha.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Okay. So, and then I will say, and then you will say, okay? So, Nam Nam of the holy name of the Lord.
Nam Nam
Nam Nam of the holy names of the Lord.
Akari manifested.
Akari
manifested.
Bahuda various kinds.
Bahuda various kinds.
Nija Sarva Shakti, all kinds of personal potencies.
Yes, our Shakti, all kinds of
Personal potencies.
Tatra in that.
And that
Arpita bestowed.
Arpita bestowed.
Niyamita restricted.
Niyamitam
Restricted.
Smarane in remembering.
Smarane in remembering.
Na not.
Na
Not.
Kalaha consideration of time.
Kalaha
consideration
of time.
Time.
Tardishi so much.
Tadashi so much.
Tava your.
Tava
Your.
Pa mercy.
Kripa mercy.
Bhagavan O Lord.
Bhagavan
Lord.
Mama my.
Mama
P although.
Api although
Devam misfortune.
Durdevam
Misfortune.
Drisham such.
Drisham such.
Iha in this the holy name.
This is the holy name.
Ajani was born.
Ajani was born.
Not.
Not.
Anuragaha attachment.
Attachment.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your name there is all good fortune for the living entity. And therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you can expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. Okay, so ready to have fun? So who can tell me the 9 stages of bhakti, starting with Shraddha? You can raise your hand, please. Shraddha, and then what, and then what, and then what, and then what? Or at least you can tell me partially. Who can tell me? Yes, Mataji. Sharda Mataji.
Mataji, is it like 9 devotional services you're asking?
9 stages of devotional service, devotional life. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha.
No, Mataji, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Sakshi Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. I'll try. It starts with Bhajana Kriya. No, faith, Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya.
Sadhu
Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Then Anartha Nivriti. Then Ruchi, Nishtha. Then Ruchi. Then Bhava, Prema. No, one more.
Asakti.
Asakti, Bhava, Prema.
Very nice. Good. Usha Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Okay, Khushbu. Khushbu Uddeshi. Hare
Yes,
Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, is it, I can tell in English?
English, huh? Okay.
Chanting, remembering, serving the.
No. Those are 9 processes. I am asking 9 stages. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Archanam, Padasevanam. That's processes. This is stages.
Okay, Mataji. Again, I'll try again. It's Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, then Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivrati, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and Prem.
Very nice. Very good. Thank you. So that's those are the 9 stages that and this particular verse represents Anartha Nivritti. So the Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and then Anartha Nivritti. This particular verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also represents Hare Krishna, then Hare Krishna. The second couplet of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also represents the Anartha Nivritti stage. This particular verse, if understood properly, helps us to get to see, first of all, see where our anarthas are, and also to help us to get rid of them. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying to the holy name that you have, there's all good fortune for us here. Everything is here. everything. All the good fortune is there for all kinds of living entities, not just human beings, across the board. Upper planetary system, middle planetary system, lower planetary system, living entities in the spiritual world, everywhere there is complete fortune, good fortune, for every living entity. And not only that, that there is every potency of Krishna in all these names. Like my name is different than my quality, right? Or Prabhupada gives example of water. Let's say somebody is very thirsty. Okay. Now they say water, 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 water. So does the name water has a potency to quench the thirst? Yes or no?
No, Mataji.
No,
Kim- So just water,
No,
because the
Mataji.
substance is different than the name, right? In material world, this is how it is, substance. But in Krishna, with Krishna or Govinda or different names, the potency and the potent are same. The potency and potent are same. We say Krishna, we actually relate and associate with Krishna, provided we are doing it properly. So not only that this all good fortune, but it also all the names have all the potencies invested by Krishna. And that is why Krishna has so many names, Krishna and Govinda, because we have so many likings and dislikings. So Krishna has expanded himself in different names. And on top of it, there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. This is an apparently controversial statement. We say there are no hard and fast rules, but then there are so many rule books, right? There are so many rule books for four regulative principles. Who can tell me 4 regulative principles that Prabhupada gave? 4 regulative principles of ISKCON. Everyone should be able to tell it this in this class. If you're not, then I'm very bad. I am bad then. You're not bad, I'm bad. Yes, what are the 4 regulative principles?
Intoxication, weight eating,
No gambling, and no illicit.
No illegal,
illicit relations.
illicit relationship. Very nice. So those are the 4. Okay, so we now over here we are saying that there are no hard and fast rules. But then here we don't give initiation if someone is not giving a vow that they're not going to do it, and also have not practiced for at least 6 months of not doing it. Then only we get initiation in ISKCON. And also we say 4 here, and then we say 64 rules and regulations in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. There are 64 rules and regulations, not just 4. But how come we are saying here that there are no hard and fast rules for remembering Krishna? Actually, there are no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy name. There are no rules. We don't have to be, sitting in a proper place or sleeping or wake or eating or, taking bath or whatever, walking or talking to someone else. There's no rule. We can, on the background, go on remembering the holy name of Krishna. So in that case, there are no rules. And he says, although you have bestowed such mercy upon the fallen conditioned soul by liberally teaching your holy name, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. So there is one thing which can prohibit us from going to Krishna. There is nothing which can prohibit anyone to go to Krishna. There's no background check needed. If we look at the other processes of self-realization, even the impersonalist, the Mayavadi school of philosophy, the person has to do some level of austerity to be able to recite the Vedic mantras that they recite. Prabhupada says that taking bath 4 times a day, or sitting on the floor and eating on the floor, not wearing slippers, and not taking bath. So sometimes not, some of the days not taking bath at all. So there's so much of austerity involved that one becomes eligible after committing or after doing certain period of austerity. The person becomes eligible to chant the Vedic mantras. So there's so much background work needed. But in chanting of the holy name of Krishna, there is nothing needed. No hard and fast rule. And it is all auspicious, and it is full of complete potency of Krishna, but we don't have an attachment for it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is representing a conditioned soul. It's so unfortunate. I'm so unfortunate. He's not saying I'm unfortunate. He's saying I'm so unfortunate. So unfortunate that I commit offenses. So there is one thing which can prohibit us or stop us from going to Krishna, and that is the offenses to the holy name. The effect of the holy name will not be manifested fully. So Prabhupada, when he gives a lecture on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he mentions that the mantra Hare Krishna Maha Mantra should be heard from the lips of pure devotee. Right? So now I have a question for all of you. It says the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What makes it so potent from the lips of pure devotee? And then he adds, I'll tell you what the other thing is. He says, Prabhupada says, and you can hear the lecture or read the lecture, that one should not hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from the lips of non-devotees, because then it is like a milk touched by the lips of a poisonous serpent. Will you ever drink a milk which is touched by the lips of a poisonous serpent? You'll take a chance?
Never.
No, Mataji.
Never.
So aggressive comparison. This is a very aggressive comparison. One may say Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not dependent on anybody's lips or anybody's purification, but then there is a word of caution that don't hear it from professional resources. Hear it from a pure devotee. The source must be very potent. Then only it will act. So I want to ask, what makes it like that? Yes, any thoughts? You can raise your hand. What makes it like that? What makes it like that? Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, whether I hear it from this in a Bollywood movie song or I hear it from the mouth of Acharya, it is a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But why is there a word of caution that hear it from Acharya and not a movie song? Yes, Jigna Mataji.
Guru Parampara.
Because
And please raise your hands preferably so I can track. Otherwise, we'll talk like on top of each other. Jigna Mataji, go ahead.
Mataji, because it is used for as a professional basis, so it's better not to hear from them.
Correct. That's correct. But go more deep. You're correct. You're not wrong. You're correct. Khushbu.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, one who from the bona fide Acharya, from the devotee, Mataji, they're practicing it. It's not just chanting, they're even practicing the life of it. And hearing the songs and all is just for the sake of making money. They don't have any basis to it. It's just the rhythm and all. But the one who chants the devotional, the person who is a devotee, he's practicing it. So
Okay.
intense.
Thank you. Dr. Parekh, thank you very much, Khushbu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pure devotee sings the Maha Mantra from the bottom of the heart. So the heart is totally involved. Number two, there is a bhav and prema bhakti totally with each word that he speaks. And thirdly, I had something in mind which I want.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is done without any gain from anywhere. It's absolutely niskam.
Conditional, unconditional. Okay, very nice. Very nice points. Thank you, Dr. Parekh. Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, as Dr. Parekh just said, I think the devotees have that Shraddha, first thing, the faith, then that Bhava, love, and prem, pure love for Krishna. So when we hear it from their mouth, it has a different flavor to it. And when you hear just the people singing, they don't believe in it. The belief is not there. They are just singing that mantra. Might be they are reciting or chanting also, but these people have, first is that they have that Shraddha in that mantra itself.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Subrata Parman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think when we hear from the Acharya, I mean, bona fide Acharya, so there is a heart-to-heart connection. And it does not only go to the ear, it goes directly to the heart. So we feel more elevated by hearing from the devotee, I mean, pure devotee.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you. Deepa Rani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. As all these participants and devotees said, all are correct, but what I want to add is devotees, when they chant, they carry Krishna along with chanting and in the heart all the time. And whereas the non-devotee, they don't carry Krishna and don't have full faith on the Lord Krishna, and they don't believe that Lord Krishna is the ultimate supreme Lord, and that is the main difference. And the devotees, they carry main thing that they carry Krishna every time while chanting and when they don't chant also.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, so all of you, thank you for participation, and thank you for your sharing. One more thing, if I am allowed to add, was that the pure devotee is chanting without offenses. The potency is in offenseless chanting, right? That chanting is potent. Otherwise, everyone else who's chanting, whether they are making monetary profit or whether they are making pratishtha or gaining pratishtha mane fame, that see, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, see, respect me, I'm such a nice person, I'm not singing any movie songs, I'm not doing this, I'm chanting it. So bottom of the heart, like attracting there's a need for some fame or recognition, or there could be other reason for chanting Hare Krishna, that out of I don't know, frustration of the material life, but not love for Krishna, but frustration of material life. Anyhow, because there are offenses involved. So it's very important. And pure devotees chanting from Shuddha Nam platform, no offenses. That is why it is very potent. But if we mix the offenses in the holy name, it is not going to be potent. That's why we don't hear, even though the mantra is the same, but we don't hear it from the person who is offensively chanting, or who's and obvious. It's an obvious offense to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to gain some material benefit. Is an obvious offense. Okay. Other thing I wanted to point out that Krishna's name, like Krishna's names mentioned here are Krishna and Govinda. So Krishna's name are divided into two categories by the acharyas. One is called primary and another is called secondary. Krishna's primary names are the names which deal with Krishna's Naam, Roop, Gun and Leela. Name, form, qualities and pastimes. So for example, Krishna. So Krishna means all attractive. So that's his quality. Or for example, Govinda. Govinda means it is also his pastime and quality. Like he's a controller of the senses, but he also gives pleasure to the cows. Or tell me some names of Krishna. You can. I would prefer if you raise your hand so I can control the class. Tell me some names of primary names of Krishna. Yes, Mataji, unmute yourself, please. Sakshi, Mataji.
Mataji, he's also known as Madhusudana, Keshava.
Madhusudan. Because he killed the demon Madhu.
Yeah.
Kesha, because he killed the demon Keshi. So that's a primary name because it is dealing with the pastime of Krishna. Right?
Madhava.
Madhava, because he is the husband of Mother Lakshmi. So that is also his quality or pastime.
Kesha.
Very nice. Or Sham Sundar, which is which means that Krishna is blackish in color, is very beautiful. So that's meditation Krishna's form. So these are primary names. Yes, Mataji, any other names?
Rishikesha.
Rishikesha, master of all
Master
the
of
senses. That's
senses,
his
yeah.
quality.
Damodar,
whose belly was bound by the rope. Yes.
Manohar.
What does Manohar mean?
Manohar is the one who is a charmer. Charms. He's very charming.
Beautiful, Mataji.
Krishna Manohar Das. Okay, maybe. Okay. Thank you.
Then Achyuta. Achyuta is like
Achyuta is
one who
infallible.
never
That's his
fails.
quality.
Pradyumna.
Murlidhar, because he has the flute. So
Mukunda. Mukunda.
Mukunda. What does Mukunda mean?
Who liberates you.
That's his quality. He is the giver of liberation. Giridhari, because that's his pastime. He lifted the hill, Govardhan hill. Makanchor, that's his quality, because he was stealing pastime, stealing the
Ranachora.
Ranchor. He kidnapped Rukmini from the Ranachor, from the war field. He just kidnapped his wife. Right. So basically, these are the primary names which are directly deal with any of the domains of Krishna directly, like Krishna's form, Krishna's name, Krishna's quality, Krishna's pastime. But then there are secondary names of Krishna which deal with his material responsibilities. Like, for example, Parameshwar, like Atma or Ishwar of every heart, like, or the Paramatma form, or even Paramatma, or Narayan, for example, is a secondary name. So devotees are generally very attached to the primary names of Krishna, and it's more potent. Of course, there is no difference in the potency per se, but the potency is more expressed in primary name. I think that's the right way of putting it. Potency is more expressed in the primary names. That's why we say Krishna, Govinda, and all the other names that you all spoke about. Okay, and then anybody can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra without any prior qualifications. It's a very powerful statement. And this question was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells what made him do that. Like anyone can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra at any time or any place, disregarding the prior qualifications or disqualifications. To Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, he said, oh, because there are so many living entities with so many desires, so many, right? Not just humans, not just people in India, but also across the world on earth. Trees are there, so many other species flying on the bird, or which are not moving, or which are swimming, or which have no legs. So many living entities have so many desires, and Krishna wants to make himself available to each one of them. Look at his mercy. When we read Chaitanya Charitamrita and we understand it properly from the spiritual master, from acharyas, we can feel it. You can feel it, right? That is so merciful. He really wants to be available. So he said, okay, no rules, chant my name. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was not in sannyas ashram, before initiation, his name was, what was his name before he became Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gaur Sundar? What was his name? Yes, what was his name? What's his name? Like my name before initiation is Preeti Sharma, right? So, but now my Guru Maharaj gave me Prem Kishori. So like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was his name?
Nimai Mataji.
Nimai Pandit.
Nimai
Thank
Pandit,
you.
yeah.
Nimai Pandit. So when he was before initiation, he opened a grammar school for children in Nimai Pandit. He opened in the grammar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, right? Radha Krishna combined. So in the grammar, what he was doing is that every adverb, verb, adjective, noun, whatever he was teaching, he would explain that first is the name of the God. In every sound vibration that we make or every object that we see, first is the name of the God, and then second is the object. It's true, actually. It's a very deep knowledge. So first is every sound vibration we are making. First is the name of the God. And second, it means that it refers to that object. So he was explaining that deep science. And people thought that he was being fanatic. But being fanatic is okay. If you are fanatic for holy name, that's fine. But being fanatic for material desires or material things is really being fanatic. So, but then the grammar school was closed because they couldn't take it. And it is true. And then there's so many examples around us. For example, what is that? Give me an example of a noun or a verb. What do you call green chili in Hindi? This is a common example. So every example can be taken. What do you call green chili in Hindi?
Mirchi.
Hari Mirch.
Hari Mirch. So the first sound vibration is Hari, right? Hari.
Yes,
And then the
Yes.
other object is Mirch. Then the object is defined Mirch. But first sound vibration, like that, he was going and dissecting each and every word that we use. Or Krishna himself says in 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita that in the words, which word is he? He's saying, no, in this I am this, in this I am this, in this I am this. So what is Krishna in the words, selection of words? He represents what? The compound word. Anyone remembers?
Oh,
That's correct. But in the Gayatri mantra, he's the Om. Or
Hari Om.
mantras. I'm asking word. Well, it is a word. He says right?
it's ether.
So the word or a is what Krishna represents. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was literally explaining it. So basically, we can say that there is no existence. I don't have an existence without Krishna. I don't. If I would have, then it wouldn't. Then they wouldn't say like that. That there is something other than Krishna. In that sense, impersonalists also say that you see, I am God, you are God, everyone is God. But but then there is no relationship, right? You say, okay, I'm God. So then what? Then what? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do your own abhishek? Are you gonna feed yourself nice prasadam? What are you gonna do? Where is the relation? Relationship means what? Relationship means two, right or wrong? You and someone else. If you say I'm a mother, what makes you a mother or what makes you a father? The other person, the presence of other person. If you say I'm a friend, what makes you a friend? The presence of other person in your life. I'm an enemy. What makes you an enemy? The other person. I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor. What makes you a doctor? The presence of a patient.
Patient.
Right? Like that. The Khushbu is a teacher. So what makes you a teacher? The presence of the student. So there's always two. So there is no impersonalism around us, but then we tend to make Krishna impersonal, which is totally fanatic and totally ridiculous because it's not possible. Something which is not possible, and we're trying to make it possible. And why does impersonalists do that? Why are they not taking to this Krishna and Govinda? And then I want to talk a little bit about offenses, but I want to know from you. Please raise your hand, and please preferably raise hand if you haven't answered anything. And if you're wrong, then you're wrong. It's fine. You're wrong. But tell me, what makes impersonalist try to nullify the existence of God and make him an imperson? But our Shastras, word by word, page by page, are shouting and telling that God is a person. Yes, you're all senior devotees. No one is new here. Yeah, I think these two girls have spoken. So please keep your hands raised, but I want to give chance to someone else. I'm really looking for participation and not an answer. That's my heart desire. I want participation. Answer could be anything. Tom, Dick, or Harry. Yes. What makes them? Who do I ask? Annapurna Mataji. Okay, Rajni Mataji, go ahead.
Mataji, is it the ego of the person who want to have separate identity from the Krishna? He want to prove himself that I am. Prove
Then
himself.
I'm God.
Yes, means I have an identity, separate identity, individual.
What, Mataji? I'm a little confused. What did you say? Please say again.
Mataji, is it the means can say jealousy means they want to prove themselves that I have separate identity. I am.
No, but they're not saying that we are separate. They're saying I'm God, you're God, everyone is God. That's what they say, right?
Yes,
impersonalist says that I'm God, you're God, everyone is God. So
sorry, Mataji.
No worries. Thank you so much. Dr. Parekh.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I think it is the ahankar in a person to say that I can also be God or I am also like him. That makes him impersonalist.
नहीं, also की बात नहीं है. They say I am God, not also.
Yeah.
I am God.
Yeah, they are very forceful about it, so that it is their ahankar that makes them do that.
Ahankar. Okay, then answer this. Then why are they calling you God or me God? They're saying I'm God, you're God, everyone is God. They're not just calling themselves God.
It's like in a social behavior, we always praise someone else to get the return of a praise.
Okay, yeah, that can be taken like that. Okay, what you get, what you throw out there, you get it back. Okay, thank you. Yes, Sakshi Mataji.
Mataji, I think the Mayavadis and these people, they feel that the highest point is the liberation, that is mukti. They they don't think beyond that. But Krishna conscious starts after Mukti. Somebody is already liberated. They go for the higher taste. They want to experience Bhagwan feature of Satchidananda. Whereas Mayavadis restrict themselves to only.
Yeah, but that's the question. No, what makes them restricted? That's the question. What makes them restrict themselves there? Why can't they move further? उनकी सुई क्यों अटक जाती है? You're not wrong. You're completely right, and I appreciate it. But go further. क्यों अटक गए? Why can't they go further? Right?
Yeah.
But you're right. Thank you, Khushbu.
Mataji, they're ignorant. Nothing else. They are not reading. They are not. They are just creating their own castles. They are totally ignorant about what is written, like a person without knowledge. So,
But then if you talk to them, they sound very knowledgeable. They can actually a Kanishta Adhikari.
they are not reading the scriptures. They are just randomly picking up without understanding.
There are Mayavadi philosophers in our society and Mayavadi temples, right? Shankar Mutt, have you heard of it?
No, Mataji.
That's Mayavadi. It's Mayavadi. Even though Shankaracharya was not a Mayavadi, but the followers of Shankaracharya are Mayavadi. But yes, you're
Mataji,
right.
maybe the personalists, the Krishna devotees have more compassion for others. They're more compassionate. And these impersonalists, they are thinking about themselves, selfish.
Okay, we can take that point. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Yes, Deeparani Mataji.
Yeah. Mataji, maybe they are the fallen souls and they forgot the relationship with Krishna and still they want to misutilize the independency given by the Lord to everyone.
We are all doing that.
Yeah.
We are all doing that. We are all fallen soul. Who is not a fallen soul in this room?
All.
Yes. Who is not a fallen soul?
All of us, Mataji.
So, and who has not misused the independence that Krishna gave? Yes. And now you're
We
all
all-
senior student, I can talk to you like that. I would never talk like this in an 18-day class, but
We all are.
So are we all
his
Mayavadi?
children, Mataji.
So we are Mayavadi, we're fallen soul, and we are misusing our independence. I'm just making you think. I'm not trying to find fault. But thank you. That's a very good insight, though, and I'm very happy that you're realizing it. Okay, so there are different reasons given by different acharyas that what makes them stuck. And one of the reasons that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us, and Krishna teaches us also in Bhagavad Gita, is frustration of material life, because their concept of form is suffering. Says, I have a form and this form is causing me so much suffering. They're completely in knowledge that, okay, this form has to change, and then I have to die, and I have to grow old, and I have to get disease. It's a suffering. Who likes to go to the hospital and get themselves admitted? Like you go to a vacation and then check in a hotel and do activities in the hotel and around the hotel. We like that, right? Who likes to go to the hospital and just check in for a few days? 10 days, I'm going to get myself admitted. Cooking in the house. Cooking in the house. The nurse will come check my heart rate, blood pressure, everything. Who likes to do it?
No one likes Mataji.
Because it's a suffering. And who likes to go on vacation and live in a nice cottage house in the middle of the woods with nice scenery around? Who likes to do that?
I would, Mataji.
Love to.
Yeah.
You would love to do that. How come? Both are taking a break from normal life, but because we know that going to the hospital or getting disease is a suffering, is a part of suffering. So Mayavadis know that. They know, but the mistake they are doing is that they are defining God's form as their own form. Like, I have a form and this form is going through so many sufferings. You see, I have so many gray hair now, right? And then, or I'm growing old now, or I'm growing, gaining weight or losing weight, or whatever the case may be. I'm hungry now. I have to work now. My legs are hurting now. My head is hurting now. I didn't sleep now. So many suffering. Become a very long list of sufferings for present, for past, and for future. So they get, well, if this form, having a form means suffering, then how can something supreme have a form? So that means no form, no suffering. What is that Hindi idiom? There is a Hindi idiom. Na rahega baas, na bajegi bansuri. Right? If somebody is making a flute out of a bamboo, how do you stop making them? How do you stop them from making the flute? How do you stop them? The person says, "Na rahega baas." Just burn the jungle. Na rahega baas, na rahegi basuri. जब बांस नहीं होएगा तो बांसुरी कैसे आएगी? It's like saying, Prabhupada says this, and I think you must have heard it. Somebody comes to a doctor and says, "Doctor, my head is hurting so much. It is hurting so much. I have a headache." So the good doctor is a doctor who will chop off the head. Na rahega sir, na hoga dard.
Oh my God.
So that's what Mayavadis do. That this form means suffering. So no form. No form, no suffering. So God is formless. This is what it boils down to, honestly, right? If your son comes or daughter comes to you and says, "Mama, my stomach is so hungry, it's making sounds, growling." Now you don't put your hand down in their throat and bring the stomach and throw it out. Na rahega stomach, na aayegi bhook, right? It's not like that, right? So that's what the Mayavadis do. That they try to make it, because they're so worried. They're so worried that, oh my God, how can God suffer? Okay, so that's what they say. Okay, coming to the main point of this verse, the 5 minutes, we'll just talk about the offenses. So this is the biggest thing in this verse, because this is what takes away our anarthas. Anartha means unwanted things in our consciousness, which make us not go near to Krishna. There are 10 offenses, and each offense is elaborately explained. And first and foremost offense is to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives for the propagation of holy name of Krishna. So Krishna can actually forgive other offenses, but if somebody is being offensive to a devotee of Krishna, no matter at what level, of course the intensity of reaction is different if we offend a junior devotee or a senior devotee or a pure devotee. Of course the intensity of reaction is different, but there is going to be a reaction, and it is going to be non-negotiable, because it is going to come directly from Krishna. Krishna is not going to have anyone remove that kind of reaction. He can remove the reaction to other offenses, but not to this one. And that is why this offense is called as, offending a Vaishnava is called as what? What is it called as? The first offense is called as what?
Namaprad.
Namaprad to sare hai na, sare hi namaprad hai, but the first one is called specifically. You're right, but go ahead.
Blaspheme the devotees, Mataji. Respect this other devotee.
So that offense is called as the offense of a mad elephant, right? A mad elephant offense. A elephant, when let's say there's an elephant is mad, completely mad, and you release that elephant in a city, what will happen? You just a mad elephant, uncontrollable, you release them in a city, what will happen? What will happen?
It will run and stamp all the people.
Yeah.
Everything will be
uproot the trees.
Everything will be destroyed. I uproot the trees, correct. So like that, if we offend a Vaishnava, no matter at what level, no matter how little service a devotee is doing to Krishna, there's a story in Ramayana about that, right? Of a squirrel. So no matter how much we are doing for Krishna, but if I offend that Vaishnava, that offense is actually called as mad elephant offense, hati matha. like I'm mad elephant. I have uprooted my roots from Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not give the authority to that person to become Krishna conscious for millions and millions of lifetimes. We have a story of it, right? I think I read it with you all. What is that name? That Gopal, the devotee who used to put the paraphernalia of worship of Mother Durga outside the house of Srivas Thakur in the night. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him get leprosy, and then he begged pardon from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, millions of years you're going to suffer and no one is going to come to you. Nope, suffer. So that's a mad elephant offense. So don't offend a Vaishnava, even in the mind. When we offend a Vaishnava, then we have to immediately rectify it at any level. Understand that this is going to destroy my own bhakti, and I'm going to be lost. And whoever has little bit tasted Hare Krishna Mahamantra, little bit tasted, not much, little taste, would never want to give up chanting Hare Krishna, never want to give up the life of Krishna consciousness. Is there anyone in this class who would like to give up chanting Hare Krishna and say that, oh, I have chanted now enough number of days in my life, now I'm not going to chant anymore? Is there anybody in this class? Be honest, I'm not judging, I'm just listening and speaking a lot.
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No, not at
Actually,
all.
if somebody, actually what happens, if somebody is not able to chant, then they miss it. They miss it. Like, I'm missing. I wish I can chant, but I'm not able to get to my beads. I'm not, because life is so busy or whatever reason one may be having. So they miss. There's this feeling that I want to get to this beads. I want to chant. Yes or no? Do you get that?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Leela chant. So we want to get back. I want to get back. That was a nice time of my life. People were suffering. The whole world was suffering from corona, but we were having so much karuna, right? From Chaitanya
Yes,
Mahaprabhu.
Mataji. Yes.
But if I offend a Vaishnava, then everything is uprooted. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Prabhupada gives one antidote though, because he's a Vaishnava. He gives one. Krishna gives no antidote. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Prabhupada gives one antidote, just one antidote. And he says that this is the mother of all the offenses. If you don't do this, then you're not going to commit not only just one offense, but any offense. You'll not do. What is that antidote? Yes. Who can tell me what is that antidote by Bhakti Vinod Thakur Prabhupada? You can raise your hand. What is that one thing if we can do, then we will not commit any offenses? Yes, Mataji.
Seeking forgiveness.
No. You're right, but that's not the answer to my question. You're right in many other ways, but no. But thank you. Thank you, Dr. Parekh.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Chanting with full concentration. There is some word, a specific word, I can't recollect, but chanting with the full concentration of Krishna will prevent all other problems.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Gayatri Mataji.
Mataji, remembering Krishna always.
But remembering Krishna will follow if you do this. It's going to be automatic procedure. But yes, thank you. That's very nice. So yes, so Dr. Parekh said it's inattentive chanting. Is the mother of, so inattentive chanting is the mother of all other offenses. If I am not attentive, if I am multitasking when I'm chanting my rounds, like people ask this question, I don't know, I am so scattered at present, level 1 class, level 2 class, level 3 class. So I don't know where I said what, but one time one person asked me in one of the classes that, can we chant when we are working out or when we are cooking in the kitchen? You see, you're starting with inattention. You're starting with inattention. And if you're starting with inattention, then the future is, then we are going to give up. But if you have tasted, when I was in Mangalore, now Minister Prabhu used to ask us regularly, are you tasting the chanting? Are you tasting? Do you get the taste? Any one of you get a taste? Maybe it comes for a fraction of a second and it goes away, but do you get it on the tip of your tongue? Do you get it? The taste?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, when I wake up at 4 o'clock to chant, I even do not wait for a hot milk and start doing that first.
Very nice. So nice. So it's Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very sweet. It has a taste because it's a live thing. And if you really want to taste that sweetness, then you have to pay attention. Okay, if you're not paying attention and you're taking it as a side job, then that sweetness will remain covered because of the offenses, and then it will not be a problem to give up chanting Hare Krishna. Even though in the heart of heart, because now you have chanted Hare Krishna by hook or by crook, the desire will remain that I wish I can, the desire, but you wouldn't get to the bottom of the problem that what happened. What happened was that there was no attentive chanting. So please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with complete conviction and attention. When you chant, you hear. You chant, you hear. Do something in your life to make that happen. Or at least pray. Or at least have a desire to do something in your life to make that happen. Like Krishna, I really want to chant attentively, my attentive rounds. And when you're attentive to your japa, you are attentive to everything else. Krishna gives that remembrance, and the knowledge is acquired by 3 ways, right? Sunday, Prabhu invited one devotee from Mayapur to give class from Bhagavatam. I was listening to the class, and he was saying that there are 3 ways of acquiring knowledge. What are the 3 ways? One is by hearing. We hear and we acquire the knowledge, and another one is by realization. So you hear and you practice and you realize that yes, this is correct. Like Dr. Parekh is a surgeon, so first he heard from his teachers, and then he went and did it live in real life. So he realized that yes, whatever I heard is correct, and because I'm able to see its results right. So hearing, then second way is realization, and the third way is revealed knowledge. Revealed. So all the purports of the Shastras are revealed in the heart of a sincere devotee who is sincere to the holy name of Krishna. Okay, so this is this verse. The next verse is very important. That's a foundation of the Hare Krishna movement. Of course, this all of them are, but that's Srinath Pisaniche is a very important verse. Okay, so Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. So Krishna has given all potency to all his holy names, every single name, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering Krishna. And then it is all auspicious for me. But I am so unfortunate. So unfortunate. I really like this. So he could have said, I am unfortunate, but he's saying, no, I'm so unfortunate. So unfortunate that I am offended. I'm offensive to the holy name of Krishna, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. It's not that my family is not cooperating with me, or my mind is not cooperating with me, or my body is not. No. Attention is the problem. Pay attention. Okay. That I hope all of you are reciting Shikshashtakam before you chant your japa. Are you doing that? Everyone, are you doing that? Do you chant Shikshashtakam prayers before you recite your japa?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Oh, so in the morning after Mangalarti, we chant Shikshashtakam prayers. We also chant 10 offenses to the holy name. And then we start chanting our japa. So maybe I have to share the whole package. Okay. I'll share the whole package of what can you chant before you start your rounds in the morning.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. If you have any questions, reflections, realization, please raise your hand, and I'm going to pull up one video of Prabhupada.